Hey guys, a couple weeks ago I picked up this fairly decent Chrysler 300. Ignore all the shit that I've got on here. I'm doing some work here. I didn't buy it like this. All my shit's in the back. Anyway, about 4 weeks ago or so I picked up this nice Chrysler 300. It's fairly decent in here. Needs some work, needs some cleaning. But the place I get the cars from, they do a safety and certification, but they typically tend to have some problems. It's usually minor shit, like really stupid stuff, like a broken wire here or there. On this particular car, I had the typical problem that everybody else seems to have had. It's common around the internet. The ESP BAS light. Mine is not on anymore. Well, it's a startup procedure. Mine is not on anymore. And I had a bit of a different experience, a different problem with what everybody else seems to have, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that, so I thought I'd make this video because I've done a lot more research into this and had to repair mine and have. So what we have here, that's your steering column control module. It's the whole assembly right there. It's got your clock spring, your steering angle sensor right here, multifunction switch, cruise control. I think that's about it for the most part. So most of the problem you see people, they loosen the little screw under here, right there, and then they pull this thing forward, and it seems to make the problem go away. Sorry, I dropped the camera. Seems to make the problem go away after they turn the wheels left and right a couple of times. So I wanted to discuss that because I think I have at least a theory as to why that solves that particular problem. I've already got my clock spring loose, and I've got those there so it doesn't come undone. Now if you pull this out, right here, if you see the bottom plug right there, it's got 2 rows of pins. You pull your clock spring out, there's 1 row of your pins, and there's those 3 right there. They connect inside. Way down in there. Now you can see the clock spring also makes up one of those rows of pins. So what I suspect is happening here, when people pull that forward, is that what they are doing is, in fact, pulling this unit forward, which will then seat these 3 pins further into their slots, which makes the full connection with the steering angle sensor. That's just my theory, and I hope this information might have helped somebody, because most likely the problem is not actually the steering angle sensor. That's this right here. This is a very simple thing. It's just it's basically just a light sensor. I'm sure it's a little more complicated than that, but you'll notice that the clock spring has all these marks on it, all these holes, and that light sensor has that neat little channel. If I can get this thing seated in here. Now, see, and when you push that in, all those holes, they go into that light sensor in there. And so these are actually index marks telling the light sensor the angle of your steering wheel. So if there's anything wrong with these, you're also going to get a steering angle sensor problem. And that's what mine was. Because as it turns out, I was getting the steering angle sensor not initialized code. And the reason for that is, where is it now? Right there. See those 2 broken pegs? It appears that somebody had my steering wheel off and wasn't aware of how this worked, and they broke those. Well, conveniently, I'm not sure if these are in the same orientation, but conveniently, this is hard to do with one hand, guys. They're not quite lined up. I think this might be in the wrong position, but basically, they were broken. I think it's right here. They were broken right here, which is if your wheels are straight and you start your car, That's the start position for your steering angle sensor. And it'll get an erroneous reading because it's trying to read basically this little line and what's above it. And because that's broken, it can't get a correct reading. So the steering angle sensor can't initialize, and you get your problem. So in my case, the solution was just to replace the clock spring. So I went to the wreckers, and I actually got the whole control module for $75. I looked up online, brand new clock spring, $396 Canadian. And this isn't the kind of part that, I mean, I don't worry about it too much because it's inside the steering wheel. So even from the wreckers, as long as if the steering wheel's intact, you're probably going to get a really good condition, damn near brand new clock spring. Now, of course, the problem is, what do you do when it's unwound? Right? It's not, how the hell do you get it back to center so it works right? Well, Chrysler actually has a procedure for this. And I don't know how I can possibly show you this with one hand. But you're supposed to rotate the clock spring all the way clockwise. Oh, mine is. There, it won't go any further. You rotate it all the way clockwise. And then you rotate it back 2 turns. So that'd be 1 turn right there. Untangle this wire. 1 turn. We do it again. Do a 2nd turn. Like that. I'm using the sticker here as the index mark. So that's 2 turns, and then you turn it back a little bit more until, hang on, let me get my orientation here, until that lines up like that. Until the wires are on this spot. And then when you put it in, that'll be centered. So that you'll get your turns to the left and turns to the right without breaking your clock spring. I will try and do a better video about this, because this is hard to do and hard to show with one hand. But the clock spring makes 5 3/4 turns from lock to lock. That's straight from the manual, and the procedure for centering it is straight from the manual. So that's how you center your clock spring if you have to replace it and you're unsure of the position and you don't want to buy a new one. So I just thought I'd throw that information out there for you guys. If it was helpful, let me know. If you know, if you want to know anything else, let me know again, and I'll see if I can do a video on it for you. I think I will do a video about taking this apart. I have taken this apart, gotten in here, and totally rebuilt it. Because actually what happened is I got, from the wreckers, I picked one of these up. It was actually, I was lucky, it was just sitting there right in the car already out. Except the clips were broken off. And then I had another one that had bent pins. I didn't really want to use that. So what I did is I took it all apart, took the clips off of another one, and now I have the clock spring here. I've got one in my car, so I've got an extra, and I've got a broken one I can take apart to show everybody what's inside these things, which I think I might do, actually, if anybody's interested in that. It's more just a curiosity video. So that's your steering column control module, and you know, I'm sorry the video hasn't exactly been, I guess, the best organized. I don't script anything. I just kind of talk off my head and let verbal diarrhea take over. So if there's anything else anybody wants to know, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do a video for to help you guys out. Thanks for watching.